What do you think when I say January 26th?
I think of Australia Day. The day that we celebrate the landing of Phillip in Botany Bay.
Think of it, I feel like it's changed over the years. Like growing up I was taught, oh yeah, like it's Australia Day, we celebrate it down at the coast, but then recently, when I've been hanging out with friends and stuff, we've been talking about how it's not so much a day we should celebrate.
Australia Day. Did you want me to go more than that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
So, what about Australia?
It's more of like an excuse to get off work or something than anything that I put a lot of like emotional impact on.
I think it's just a public holiday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's associated. When I first got asked, I kind of forgot what I was. It didn't pop to my head instantly until I got reminded it was Australia Day. So
Australia Day. So there's a bit of a debate going on about Australia Day. The natives of the country don't like it, but we celebrate it because it's like that's where we've colonised it or something like that. But there's a bit of a debate. That's what I know.
Australia Day, I suppose. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Australia Day.
Yeah. I didn't know it was Australia Day until she said that.
What does Australian Day mean to you boys?
We just celebrate every Australian, really.
I guess I've never really I know it's a public holiday, it's Australia Day, just get around with some mates around the pool, have some beers and that.
Yeah,
that's all really I've ever thought of it, just a nice day off.
I guess I'm a believer in Australia as a nation, and for me it's a reason to celebrate the establishment of European settlement in Australia. I know other people look at it differently and they may have their reasons for that, but as a proud Australian, I look at it as if it was the settlement of Australia, and the same way the Americans probably look at the War of Independence and those sort of things. So,
What do you know about the terms Invasion Day or Survival Day?
Survival Day. Well, I know that they're like to do with the Aboriginal and Indigenous communities and how the Western colonised like around that time and stuff like that.
I understand some of the controversy about the way it was settled and the way it was done, but to me it's something that today we celebrate where we've built the nation from.
I completely support it.
I think that, I guess, the term Australia Day is very over-glorified in
The
our
inclusion
culture.
of who they say Australia is.
Yeah.
That brings up quite a lot in me that I don't think we've got it right in respecting our First Nations people, and I know that they have a lot of trouble with that day in being Australia Day, and I actually believe it should be moved to a different day because that day to them is Invasion Day.
Why do you think people want to change the dates?
Because it's originally the natives' country, and we colonised it on that day, so it's not very fair for them because it was originally their country.
Yeah, I know all the controversies surrounding like the date itself. Is it like have to do with like the invasion? I get that. It's fair that all the controversies very well like justified. Like I can understand why people are really like upset about it. That's fully understandable. I've never really had like, not that I've had an issue with it. I don't really relate to all of it. I know other people can have like, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, yeah, some people have real issues with it, which is understandable. And like, I get why they call it Invasion Day and that.
Big controversy around it. No, I've got no real opinion on it really.
Basically just that day is associated with a lot of pain, and the concept of changing the date is just to sort of celebrate the country on a date that doesn't involve that pain, like that issue.
I think with Australia Day, it's kind of a really hard subject because obviously Australia Day has like massive meaning to some people. Like they really, it's been so long we've had that as Australia Day, so it means a lot to some people, but to some people it's obviously really hurtful and harmful, and I think maybe it's only a day at the end of the day. So I think if we changed it, it's not really going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
If the day were to change, what date would you like to see Australia Day celebrated?
May 8th. Because May, like May 8th, May. I think that. But otherwise, I'm not really too fussed about the date. Like,
I don't think the date really matters.
Yeah, as long as like a day off with all the boys, call it Australia Day, any day is fine with me.
Yeah, I don't think it should change. I think we should come up with another day, if that helps, to celebrate whatever it might be that other people think that they need to celebrate. But I think it's a really key date in the development of the nation as we know it today. And as I said before, I think it's something that we need to recognise and celebrate. It mightn't make everybody happy, but it happened. We are where we are now because of that date and the people that came here on that date.
Well, like a cumulative, or like a day that a lot of people agree on, including the Indigenous population, of like the appropriate day.
Honestly, any day for me is fine, I think. Obviously, would love the summer, but I feel as though the day to itself like doesn't hold much to me. It's more just the idea behind the day, and I don't like that we celebrate.
I don't know. I'd probably just keep it on the 26th. I don't know. Or unless they have like a specific date that they would like to put it on, we could probably change it to that date.
I heard variants of May 8 because it's similar to mate, which is a very popular term in Australia. So I think a day like that would be really cool.
I have no thought about it, to be honest, what they would change the date to. But hearing that will be a nice addition to it. So yeah,
I think a day that was decided between First Nations people as well as the rest of Australia. So a day that they thought would be a good day, I think would be the right day.
Definitely a day in summer. I think probably maybe earlier in January or start of February.
I still think it's important to celebrate our country, but I think that day is not the day to celebrate it.
Yeah, like May 8 would be so much better.
Has Australia Day always been celebrated on January 26th?
As far as I know, it's the day that has been celebrated. Up until now, there are quite a few people who don't celebrate Australia Day on that day, even though nationally it's recognised as a celebration.
I guess that's what I've been taught, but I'm not sure if it's always been that way.
I got no clue.
I don't think Australia... No, it hasn't actually, I don't think. Yeah. Different states celebrated different
Yeah, I'm not
stuff.
sure. I've never really looked into it, really. I've just kind of been see what the calendar says. I've never really looked too deep into it.
As far as I know, yeah, in my knowledge of it, that might not be right, but as far as I know, it's always been celebrated in my lifetime on that day.
From my perspective, I have not realised it has changed at all. If there was changes, but no, I have not.
I guess the problem with me is my family doesn't celebrate Australia Day, so I never really got to experience anything within the day of anything.
Yeah. That's same with mine too.
I would have no idea. I don't do much research into that.
I have no clue. Actually, has it been? Has it? I haven't heard.
So Australia Day became a public holiday officially for all states and territories in 1994.
Oh, that's so recent.
1994, a public holiday. No, if I had, I'd forgotten it. But it was always deemed to be Australia Day.
Yeah, or some variation.
Yeah, I'm not real worried about the public holiday, but the date is a date that we need to recognise and acknowledge. Whether it's a public holiday or not, I don't really care.